Hello and welcome to Paritor Toolbox. Today we'll be talking about Ensemble version 5 and introducing it to you. My name's Beth and I'll be your host today. Joining me I have Simon, the Chief Architect of version 5, who's going to explain to us a little bit about the new version. So hello.
Hello. So, well, as you can see, version 5 is here and it looks really different.
Really, really different. Much, much sleeker.
It is. It's we spent a lot of time with the whole design of the system. So, we've really changed the way it looks. And we've made it a very modern piece of software. But in fact, we've actually changed a lot behind there as well. It's been around for 25 years, but this is a complete rewrite, not just to the way it looks, but everything about it, everything behind it, everything.
So what would you say is maybe the biggest difference between the new version and the old?
Well, for a start, we've got rid of the concept of this being a Windows desktop application. It's now what's generally more recognised as being an app.
Yep.
That gives us lots of flexibility, one of which, of course, is things such as its speed, but also about the sort of devices it will run.
Okay, so tell us a little bit more about the speed. Obviously, most of our customers are very familiar with version 4, so let's have a look at what version 5 can actually offer.
Yeah, so if I was to show you, for example, just looking up a contact, whether that be a pupil, maybe or a school or a teacher, any sort of contact you got on the system.
Yeah.
Then as you can see, if I just start typing a name, how quickly that now just filters that down.
Yes.
And I've got several thousand contacts on this example database that I've got, and it very quickly finds everybody with a similar name to mine.
Can you scroll through them really quickly?
Yeah,
as well?
so as you can see there are, and if I just were to click through those, you can see just how quickly it finds those, the full details of those, full name, address, the whole sort of sets of details of them, and puts them up on the screen there.
Wow, I have to say that is quite a difference speed-wise there. And so how have you been able to achieve that?
Well, we use Microsoft's Azure services and data centers to store all our data and provide all the back-end services to what we use here. And that allows us to take advantage of some amazing technology that they've freed up for us to use, which really does optimize the way we communicate, the way we get data, the way we store data.
So you just said about the way that you store and connect to the data. Does that mean that the actual data centers are based closer to our customers?
Well, one of the great advantages you get from Azure is you can put data centers anywhere around the world. And so we have data centers around the world, but all our UK customers will use data centers based in the UK.
And obviously with the new GDPR legislation and all of the political upheaval that we're going through at the moment, that's a massive advantage for our customers.
It is, yeah. It's, I think, because we're talking about such sensitive data, I think it's really important for any UK organisation to know that their data is held within the UK and therefore under UK data regulations.
So all the data is held safely and securely within UK locations. You've got a much faster speed. Now, the next thing you mentioned was you're obviously running on a Windows, but you also mentioned that you're going to be running on different devices in the future?
Yeah, so as I say, this has really been written as what we would class today as an app.
Yeah.
And so here we got it running on a Windows 10.
Yeah.
But as you see here, I've got a Mac.
Got your Mac.
And as you can see, it's running just the same on the Mac there. And I've even brought along an Android phone. And if I put it on that, you can see that I've now got it running on that.
Yep.
You need a bigger screen, really, to make the best use of it, but certainly you can run on an Android tablet or an iPad as well.
At least the possibilities of that. Now, you said the word app quite a number of times now. What's the difference, or why choose an app over a web-based solution?
Well, a number of years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, when we started to begin to think about the redevelopment of Ensemble, we seriously looked at redeveloping it as a web application. That gave a number of advantages. You could run it on different devices. You could access this at various places, not just necessarily in the office or whatever. But we ended up going down the app route because the wheels moved on a lot in the last 5 years. Now connectivity is so much better. and people expect a much richer environment than a website would give you.
Right.
And I think that's demonstrated in the world today. If you want to actually run Netflix, you have an app. If you want to go on Facebook, you tend to use the app. If you want to look at business software like Xero, you use the app, or a CRM system like Capsule, you use app. So people today expect us to be on a software to be running as an app. Not to say there isn't a place for the web, and we still use web pages within Ensemble.
And we've got live portals, haven't we?
That's right. But for running the Ensemble, the main bit of Ensemble, then it's better to run it as an app. You get a much richer and much more secure environment in
the actual desktop app. Now, you mentioned connectivity. Obviously, with web-based solutions, the biggest issue that people face is the fact that they might run out of internet, they might be on a train or something like that. Is that still an issue within Ensemble? Can you still view data?
Well, the big advantage an app has over web is the fact that you can use your data when you're offline. So we do connect to the back end, the web, the data centers, we say, and you need to be connected if you want to update the data. But for viewing the data, or even just for running reports, you don't need to have connectivity. You can just use your app and actually view the data, look at the reports, look at the data, and that doesn't matter. And the app manages whether you've got internet or not, switching you on and off all automatically.
That all sounds brilliant. So being able to view your data offline, just to view your reports if you're in schools or out of office or anything like that, that's absolutely brilliant. Now, you mentioned reports. Obviously, we know that AI is a big part of Ensemble. Now, to be actually able to be using the BI side of it that we're going to talk about now, you do have to be connected to the internet, but it is a powerful tool for Ensemble
users. It's an extremely powerful user. If you think about the amount of data that is being gathered about the education, and often the data is gathered, but people never really get it.
So do with it anything.
Or if you do you need to go off and learn how to write queries in SQL and that sort of thing. So what AI, in particular Microsoft BI, which is the tool that we've incorporated into, gives you is the ability to create reports and dashboards to show you really powerful visualizations of that data, and then also to be able to query it just in natural language.
So when you say visualizations, do you mean things like maps, like graphs, like lists, that sort of thing?
Absolutely.
Pie charts?
I can show you just some of that now.
So talk me a little bit through this screen.
Yeah, so this is just a very simple sort of dashboard that I've set up. And typically one that you can do, so you can define all sorts of reports and design your own dashboards that are just for you, and then just basically pin them to your dashboard area within Ensemble. So here I've just to demonstrate a point really, I've just taken a breakdown really of pupils and looked at it against the ethnicity breakdown.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's produced a graph for me there and a map that shows me where that sort of breakdown of that ethnicity mix is. But it's more than just visualization through there. There's a lot of interaction that can go on, so I can actually pick.
You mentioned SQL queries. Obviously, you don't need to be able to use it.
No, not at all. Not at all. And I'll show you in a little bit just how big into that. But on something like this, you can just pick on one particular part of the data. So I've just picked on the White British section there, and you can see it then focuses on the map where that mix is actually coming from.
That's absolutely brilliant, and I can see what a powerful tool that's going to be for all of our customers. Now, it's obviously something that we're going to delve into more deeply in another video. It's got so many uses that we just can't cover them all here today. But one final question for you, Simon. We are looking at releasing Ensemble version 5 to our customers in the next few weeks or so. Can you tell me a little bit more about the release schedule?
I can. So the roadmap we've got is over the next few weeks we're now releasing this out in pre-release version to a selected number of customers, but they'll be using it to evaluate the impact it can make on their business. It offers a lot of new facilities that they can now start to think about, and then we'll learn from that, and we'll be able to share that with the rest of our customer base. Then after Easter, we'll be releasing the general release out to our existing customer base.
Okay. So obviously the beta version has been in planning for about 18 months.
Yeah, that's been out there with a couple of customers, and We've worked together with some customers to really get the design right and look at it from a customer point of view.
And does that mean that we're now moving into a beta version for Macs and for Androids and that sort of thing?
So we will be releasing the general release for Macs and for Androids later on this year, hopefully around the start of the academic year.
That all sounds brilliant. So just to round off, I guess, we're looking at a general release schedule for everyone after Easter, and that is for Windows, and then we'll be moving on to Macs and other devices in the future. We really hope you've enjoyed today's video, so please give us a like below and hit the subscribe button to see future videos from us. Thank you all very much for watching. Goodbye.